What's happening, everybody? It is Mike from the Hardcover Comic here. Today, we're going to talk about the books that I read over the course of the month of March, whatever books I picked up, some bind plans that I've got, and whatever else, happened throughout the course of March. So let's take a look at the past 30 days. Before we get into things, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Join the Hardcover Comic family on YouTube here. We post content daily, comics, hardcovers, all that fun stuff, live streams. Be sure to check out Dr. Squatch as well. Down below in the description, you'll see a link that will get you free shipping for life with your subscription. They are an organic soap and men's healthcare product company. Matt uses them. He loves them. So check them out as well. And be sure to check out our Patreon as well. We're going to be doing monthly hardcover comic giveaways. So be sure to check that out. We give away digital codes as well. And a lot of fun stuff happening there. All right, well, since we're not going to be getting anything new over the course of, X amount of time, whatever it's going to end up being, this quarantine, the non-essential businesses, diamonds, cut distribution, all that stuff. So, March is going to be sort of our last refuge for new material, at least for a little bit of time, in the near future. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about the books that I got this month, what I thought of them, and some plans that I've got with some of these trade paperbacks and stuff that I got. So this is also not the full haul, everything that I got in March. A lot of it's actually in the States with Matt, because I was planning to pick them up when we went to Planet Comic Con, but that didn't happen with the COVID situation. But let's get into it. Starting off with Alienated #2. If you're looking for something new to try out, this is a 6-issue miniseries that's coming out from Boom Studios, written by Simon Spurrier with artwork by, I always mess up the names, Chris Wildgoose. I mess up his name with Jason Goonface, who I'll talk about a little bit later here. But fantastic story. It's about 3 kids all named Sam, and they basically come across this weird machine, robot, pet thing. And I don't want to spoil too much. There's a lot of stuff happening. They go to this school and they start finding out what the capabilities of this machine tool that they've got. And you see Simon Spurrier sort of unravel the characters as well, in the fact that they're being, judgmental, let's say, when, they're judging people for being douchey, and they're being douchey themselves. Of course, that's a very lame way of saying it, but it's a really great series. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens over the course of the next few issues. Next up is Books of Magic. I think it's the only Vertigo title I'm still up to date with, but Lucifer as well, and Hellblazer, but it kind of feels like this is winding down, coming to an end. We've had this arc where basically, I don't want to spoil too much, but I'm kind of interested to see where this goes. It feels like the series is going to come to an end. The artwork is, still the same consistent style that it's been so far. The only problem I have with the book is it's a really quick read. It doesn't last you very long. I wish it did, but it is what it is. Next up is Catwoman #21. This wraps up the Joelle Jones run, which was pretty good. It started off fantastic and sort of, tapered out a little bit with the Year of the Villain stuff, but it was still really good. I'm looking forward to seeing what the new creative team does. I know Sean Murphy's jumping on in a couple issues, so it'll be really exciting to see what the new creative team does with it. Of course, I'm going to miss Joelle Jones' artwork, even though she didn't do every issue, but I will miss seeing her artwork once in a while. The Dreaming, I have not read this issue yet because the series is wrapping up with the next issue, so if we ever get that, when we get it, I'll be sure to, I'm going to be binding it and all that stuff. So I'll be talking about The Dreaming in the future, don't get me wrong. Green Lantern, Season 2, Issue #2, a little disappointing. Not much really happened. Basically, Hal Jordan's on another planet, and, it turns out there are these 2 turkey vulture type characters who basically are fighting over control. And I like the Western feel that the Green Lantern has once in a while. I really enjoyed it in this issue, but a lot of it felt kind of nonsensical and a very weird characterization of Hal Jordan. But I guess that's what they're going for. I don't know. I was kind of disappointed with it, especially after the start we had with issue #1. House of Whispers is also coming to an end with issue #22, I think, so I have not read this. I'm going to wait for the series to be done. John Constantine Hellblazer is fantastic. It's probably one of my favorite new series that has started, mostly because, in the first arc we got to see a little bit of a darker edge, and now with this newest arc we're getting John Constantine teamed up with this this sort of hipster magician. And it's really funny to see how they interact and the story and the sort of mythology that Simon Spurrier is building here. And the artwork by Matthias Bergara is great. It's stylized, granted, but I really enjoy it, and I think it adds a little levity to the title as well. Lucifer is a beautiful cover, still a consistently amazing series. I wouldn't be surprised though if these Vertigo series were coming to a close soon as well, this and Books of Magic. But we'll see what happens. Moving on to Image Decorum #1, Matt and I talked about this on a live stream. The artwork is very funky, it's different, it's experimental, but the story is promising. It was an interesting first issue, to say the least, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. The cover's fantastic too, it's a nice wraparound. Family Tree, still fantastic. Jeff Lemire, Phil Hester. I think that's the end of the first arc. It seemed that way anyway, and there's a little bit of a time jump at the end. So I'm interested to see where that goes, because it's been really cool so far, and I like the family aspect of it. Undiscovered Country, another book that has been growing on me slightly. It's still one of those books where I don't feel a huge connection to the characters. It's building slowly as we start to learn more about them. And where they come from, what their past is, and why they're in the situation they're in. I do like sort of, again, the whole world building that Snyder and Charles Soule are doing is fantastic. The artwork is great for the most part. It has some misses once in a while, but it's really good. It's a good series. Maybe it was a little overhyped for me, but I'm enjoying it for now. I'm still enjoying it for sure. X-Men #8 and 9. Matt and I have talked about these on streams. It was a fun little, it kind of felt like a 2-issue arc with the Brood here. The ending of #9 it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in the Marvel universe, with the King Egg and all that stuff. But really, really nicely done. Great artwork by Azrar and Lionel Yu on that. Title I was a little disappointed with, Giant Size X-Men Nightcrawler. The reason I was disappointed with it was just because I felt like it was a waste of a creative team, and I understand Jonathan Hickman maybe wanted to put across the idea that Nightcrawler at the end of the day is not maybe a lead character. I don't know. It would have been nice to see Nightcrawler actually get the spotlight there. He just felt like a side character in the story, and that disappointed me a bit. Moving on to the Valiant stuff, we got Bloodshot #7, The Burned. I haven't read this issue yet. I did read both the first and second arc, and I enjoyed them, so we'll see how it goes. It's not the greatest Bloodshot run since the reboot, but it's still a good time. Moving on to Rai here. Rai's great, and I'm sort of... It's tough for me to even compare this to Matt Kint's Rai, which I recently reread, because the styles feel so different. Even just from an artwork perspective, you've got Juan Jose Rip on this series as opposed to Clayton Crane on the previous one. Extremely different art styles, right? So already there you've got a bit of a different flavor going with the series. But Dan Abnett and Juan Jose Rip are doing a great job so far. This is probably my favorite current Valiant series right now, as they're hunting down basically the remnants of Father and his children to prevent him from coming back. So, pretty good mission there. Quantum and Woody #3. I wish this had kept going, because I'm really liking the Christopher Hastings, Ryan Brown team. It's been a crazy book so far, and each story sort of, even though it's a 4-issue arc, you sort of do get a self-contained story within each issue as the brothers keep secrets from one another and try to just make it through okay and stick together as a family. Great stuff. Exo Manowar #1, did a whole review video on this months ago. Fun start. I'm looking forward to seeing where the series goes, but let's talk about some trades now. So a lot of these are going to be bind plans, of course, because I like trade paperbacks. They're great. They're a great value for your money usually as well, and they're really nicely done too, don't get me wrong, but I love the hardcover more. I feel like it's going to preserve things in the longer run. So first up, God Shaper. This is a Boom Studios title that was done by Simon Spurrier and Jason Goonface, my bad. See, Chris Wildgoose, Jason Goonface. But yeah, this was an interesting story. It's basically, at a certain point in time, physics stopped working, but there was a solution that came up in the form of these little godlings that people have. But there are some people who don't have their own gods, and typically these people are also able to create them. So that's where the God Shaper comes in, follows our main character here. I read this story a while ago, so I don't remember every detail, but I do remember enjoying it a lot. The artwork is very stylized and crazy. like with a lot of Simon Spurrier books, but it's fantastic. And I must say, like, I'm not the biggest fan of trade paperbacks, but Boom makes a real high quality trade paperback. I must say, it's really nicely put together. The pages are real nice and thick. I'll give you guys a little look at the artwork here. I mean, hopefully these are good pages. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited for it. It's going to be part of my little Simon Spurrier anthology that I do, collecting a whole bunch of stuff. Next up, Batman and Robin Eternal Volumes 1 and 2. I'll just move on from these for now because it is what it is. It matches along with what I've got going here. So I decided that I was going to start binding my own New 52 Batman set because I did enjoy Scott Snyder's run a lot, including Batman Eternal, Batman and Robin Eternal, and I know DC is doing official releases for these. I'm sure we'll see a Snyder Volume 2 omnibus. I'm sure we'll see a Batman and Robin Eternal omnibus. For some reason, I think that may have already been solicited, but I might be going crazy. I don't know. I'm probably going crazy. But I know that the binding and production has not always been great on DC books. And in a set of, like, what's going to probably be 4 or 5 omnis total, if you include Dark Knight's Metal, the quality may slip here or there, like it already has with Batman Volume 1. So I also got All-Star Batman here, which is the Rebirth stuff. I've read most of this, and I know it's not the greatest part of Scott Snyder's run, but damn it, I'm a completionist in some way, shape, or form, and I just wanted to have all of it. And that brings me to the last piece, which is this Batman by Snyder and Capullo box set Volume 1. So I had seen that these were a thing a while ago, and I never really checked them out. Glad I did. I got this from a third-party seller on Amazon weeks ago, and it's really cool. The trades are nice. You get this like little connecting spine with the trades. Of course, it won't matter for me because I'm going to be taking these apart, but it's really nice. It's a nice little box set. If you are a fan of box sets, or you know someone who's a fan of trades, it's also really nice to get this box set with it. Of course, there's a box set collecting volumes 4 through 6, and there's another one for, I believe it's 7 through 10, which will get you the entire New 52 Snyder run for Batman. It's great. These aren't like too expensive still. I think you can get most of them on in-stock trades. I know Matt has volume 2 and 3 for me over in Nebraska there, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. It's kind of cool to have the slipcase too. I don't think a bind will actually fit in here. It would be nice if it would, to have like a little slipcase for a custom bind too, but we'll see what happens. Either way, guys, this was all the stuff that I got for March. I really enjoyed my ongoing titles. There are a few that are ending, so I'm going to be picking up some new titles hopefully in the coming months. Once things get back to normal again, of course, and there are titles I'm interested in, so stay tuned for that. What did you guys pick up this month? What are you reading? What are you catching up on? What are you doing now that we are in this quarantine/isolation? Let me know down below. Let's start a conversation down in the comments. For those of you that are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell as well. It'll let you know whenever we post a new video. Be sure to hit that like button as well. It really helps us out a lot. Check out Dr. Squatch. They're an organic soap subscription service. With the link down in the description below, we get you free shipping for life. And then check out our Patreon. We're doing giveaways on there every month. We do digital code giveaways whenever we get them as well. So check that out and see what you can get by joining. Thank you all very much for tuning in. This is Mike from the Hardcover Comic. Until next time, as always, you stay classy, Internet.